So I want to talk to you guys about a topic that I thought was very important, which is jobs. Now, let me start first and foremost by saying, excuse the background if it's a bit dark, but it's hot as hell outside and I'm not turning on my light. Um, well, let's get back to jobs, right? You see, they rate unemployment at 9 point something percent. I don't know what exactly, so don't get me to sitting here lying. But when you factor in not just the people that are counting, which is I guess people who are actually signed up for unemployment, but college students such as myself, or just folks my age. Period. I mean, you don't have to be a college student, but just anyone who's looking for a job should be counted also. So when you look at it in a whole, unemployment realistically, and I'm probably giving it a low mark saying this, but I think it's about maybe in the 20% margin somewhere, if not more. Lil Wake and Bake. Not really, it's 12 in the afternoon. But, see, this is what I don't understand about jobs, right? If I want to work and I put in an application, I get called for an interview. What is the interview process? Why is it needed? But I can just give you a paper called a resume, which has my skill set on it. Either way, the company's going to do some sort of training showing you the ropes and how they do things. No two companies does everything exact. And even if they do, they don't know what the previous company did, even if you have work experience there. So regardless of what, they're going to show you what to do. Now, we're not talking about mind-numbing tasks here, right? It's not like you put in an application to be a heart surgeon or an astronaut or a physicist, right? We're talking about jobs that the average person can do. Common sense stuff. I understand people like to make their roles seem way more important than they are by giving it fancy titles. But when you break it down in its purest essence of what your daily tasks are and what you do, a lot of people don't do very difficult work. You understand what I'm saying? So, why put me through the interview process? And why in the hell do we still have to put our ethnic background on papers? It makes no sense to me. I mean, I've asked somebody and they say, oh, well, that's for discrimination. Bullshit. Companies could forge and just put black on your shit if they wanted to. No one's really checking to see if you're hiring black people or you've hired enough Chinese people or whatever the case is. No one checks for that type of shit, really. Unless people complain and file lawsuits of, discrimination and things of that nature. Other than that, no one really checks for that. It's not something that's harped on. But the whole fiasco and how we come about getting some sort of employment is crazy because you have people out there that can't get a job not because they're not good workers, but because their personality or vibe wasn't enthusiastic enough for this person or whatever the case may be. I mean, when you start to judge people based off of shit like that, I don't see how most people have jobs right now. See, but getting one is all about being fake. You know what, let me not say that. Some people do talk properly and politically correct 24/7. That is true. But from the looks of things, I'm just saying from the looks of things because I have not spoken to every person on planet Earth, but from the looks of things, most people aren't politically correct and talk proper in their own personal time or amongst friends and certain family members. A lot of people cut loose and relax and really go into that mode of being themselves. So why, for me to gain some sort of employment, we have to sit there and do a fake back and forth? Why can't I just come to you and be totally honest? I mean, you're looking for workers. I want to work. What's the problem? You see, to me, that shows initiative enough. The fact that you're actually there, seeing if you can gain some sort of employment from the company. That shows the initiative that you want to work. Why do you need to interview me? What are you gonna find out? I mean, what are we really talking about besides spitting the same sort of rhetoric that we've heard our whole lives to say when you're trying to get a job? I'm punctual. I'm a hard worker. I'm a team player. Yada yada yada. They've heard it all before. You've said it enough times, right? Where's the honesty between two people nowadays, really? Is what I'm getting at. See, I can't come to you and just say, listen, I gotta make money. I got bills to pay, child support, um, whatever your ailment, you know? Why you can't do that, you know? I mean, to me, somebody who needs as opposed to wants always goes the extra mile. See, it's a grave difference in when you need something and when you just want the shit, you know? Because you could want it and not want it, but when you need something, it's needed. So I don't know. Get back at me and tell me what y'all think about that. I mean, do you think the job getting process is flawed, or do you think it's fine the way that it is? Personally, I think it would be better if it was just some system where, I mean, if from the time we went to school we just chose what it is that we wanted to do, and that's what we went to school and trained to do, then that would be something different. I think the world would be a much better place because then everybody would have a skill set to be able to go out there and make some money and do something. Instead of robbing and stealing from each other when, you know, you ain't robbing millionaires and shit like that. You're not robbing folks carrying around hundreds of thousands of dollars. The biggest thing niggas in the hood get away with, and yes, I'm saying niggas in the hood. That's where I'm from. That's how I refer to some of these guys. You gotta understand. It's a big difference between a black man that lives in the ghetto and a nigga that's in the hood. Preferably, you don't really want to fuck with niggas that's in the hood. It's cool to know some black men in the hood, but you don't want to fuck with no niggas that's in the hood. That'd be a downfall. Niggas that's in the hood. Like I said, because the biggest break they get away with, man, is you may luck up and steal somebody rent money. You know, Social Security check or something. But that ain't about nothing. I mean, it's not gonna get you nowhere. We not getting too far. So, if we had a system in which, you signed up, you wanted to work, you signed up, and they found something for you to do, or they found something to teach you. I mean, nobody's unteachable when it comes to a skill set. It's all about repetition. You know what I mean? If you can memorize and understand what it is that you have to do, then you could do anything. So I believe that would change things a whole lot as far as society is concerned. I mean, the same way guys can learn a bunch of codes and secret handshakes and shit like that, you can learn to work a certain job. I don't care what the position or the responsibility is. Everybody has the capacity to learn something. A lot of people don't exercise that skill set in the way that it should be, or what society agrees that it should be. I, you know, but we all have it. So I'm saying where I stand is, excuse me, where I stand is, if there was a system where we just signed up, you signed up, you learned something, you put it to work, and you were able to go out there and make some money off of it. Now you may say we have that now. We don't really have that. It's always there as if you fail everything else, this is the next step that you take. I just think if that was the focus of education, period. Because, I mean, it's good to know a bunch of random facts about a bunch of miscellaneous things. But at the end of the day, there's supposed to be something that you're attempting to have some sort of expertise in. That's usually going to be your bread and butter at the end of the day. You know? Something that'll suffice your needs and your wants. So, if brothers and sisters and everybody, period, because I mean, it's not just black neighborhoods, like it's some fucked up white neighborhoods too. This is life, but most people know what they know because you know where you live. You ain't gonna know much about how predominantly white neighborhood function if you've never been in one, if you've never lived in one. See, there's a difference in passing through some shit and having a general opinion based off of what you saw passing. Then there's one thing to actually live in it and understand the and the workings on it. That's why I don't like to talk about nothing that I don't know. Which is why I try to encourage, comment, send me a PM. I actually want to know this stuff. I want to be able to understand it the way that you see it because there isn't a better understanding of something you don't know than someone who's actually lived through it. Comment, rate, subscribe. I'm gonna holla at y'all.